Alright, so I finally beat Nightreign. I did a live solo playthrough. It's on my channel if you're interested in checking it out. The only one I didn't do solo was the first stream. I played it the way the game was intended to be played, and I just decided to do the rest solo. Now it's time for me to get my thoughts, or review if that's what you want to call it. Let's get it. Alright, so my first thought on the game is that it's a lot of fun. At first, once you start struggling to beat the Night Lords, then that's when it can get not repetitive but more tedious, like, cause you gotta, like, once you lose you gotta go through the whole cycle all over again. And it got to the point a couple times where I was like, oh my god, I just wanted to be over with. All right, my next thought is that I wish we had a little more time to explore, because there has been a lot of incidences where when the Nightreign starts coming in, I'm fighting a boss and there's just not enough time to fight the boss and finish it out so I can get my runes. I gotta hurry up and run and get to the end of the game so that way I don't lose all my runes or die trying to fight him. And then if you die on the boss while the Nightreign is going, it'll put you further away from the boss. So that got a little frustrating. I did do a timer on how long it takes for the Nightreign to start. So I did it from the start of the expedition, like right when you land, when the bird drops you off, all the way up until the Nightreign starts. It's about 4.5 minutes, like 4 minutes and like 25 seconds. So that really is not a lot of time to get everything you need. Well, I think it should at least be 5 minutes. All right, so this one's a little nitpicky, but I really found it frustrating that the markers on the map randomly disappear on their own. Like, they must have like some kind of timer on it. And I remember a couple of occasions where I was running to a marked location and I got sidetracked by enemies or by a boss or something like that, and then I started running in the direction I thought was the right direction, and then I opened the map and I'm far off from where I put the marker at. So that was, like I said, a little nitpicky, but that's another thing I'm not too much a fan of. The next thing is merchants. So merchants are located all over the map in specific locations. The thing I don't like about the merchants is that they all sell the same items. Now there is one instance where there's a specific merchant that's at a specific camp at a specific spot that sells like talismans and different items. And then there's another merchant, like when you make it to day 3, right before you fight the Night Lord, he sells some different items. I guess that kind of makes it better, but like when you're running through the whole map, I still think that different merchants should sell different items. All right, another thing is when you find items or equipment or weapons, co-op can take your weapons and stuff too. I was not a fan of that, because there was one time when I played on the first live stream where I found a chest and it had one item I wanted out of it, and one of the co-opers took it from me, and I was like, man, I don't even get to get my item. Like, oh, that's some bullshit. I did not like that at all, but hey, whatever. All right, so this one's a positive one. I noticed that some weapons have Ashes of War that are not typically on them in the base Elden Ring game. Like, I got this Zweihander that have Flaming Strike. You can't put Flaming Strike on a Colossal Sword in the regular Elden Ring, so I thought that was pretty dope. I think I got the Meteoric Ore Katana. It had like double slash on it. I got like that snake sword that fills your HP. It had spin and slash on it normally, but in Nightreign it had lightning ram on it. I thought that was pretty dope. All right, the next thing is blocking. So I noticed that even if you have a fist weapon, a dagger, a great shield, a small shield, standard shield, if you block successfully, you take little to no damage. That's actually pretty useful for a game like this, so I think that was a plus. Next thing is, the few times I played as a team, something I really didn't like is that if we were on day 2 and then one of the team members decided they wanted to quit out, well, if that one team member quits out, you got to start all the way over. You got to get a whole new team and start all the way over. So it's like, why can't that team member just quit out and then it'll just be 2 of us? Like, I don't have a problem with playing with just 2. So that was something I kind of wasn't a fan of. I heard other people talking about this issue as well, and they was thinking that anybody who quits out, that From Software should ban those accounts from doing co-op. And I don't necessarily agree with that. It's not that deep, because they may have had like a internet drop or a connection error or something like that. All right, so this one is about scarabs. I do not like that you can find different scarabs and they drop the same talismans. I was not a fan of that. We already got to run through the game really fast and get everything as quickly as we can. When the scarabs drop the same talismans that you already found at another scarab, it's like really disappointing. So not a fan of that. All right, next thing is the Mending Grace. That's the resurrection tool. I am so glad they put that in there because I would still be stuck on all them bosses right now without that. So if you play solo, you get the Mending Grace, which resurrects you one time. Depending on how many you get, will depend on how many times you can resurrect. I think the most I've gotten was 3. So I'm grateful that they put that in there. And the last one is replayability. Look, my honest opinion is a From Software game. Without PvP, the replayability is very, very low. Yeah, they can give us updates and give us new, harder bosses. I'm not really motivated to go and fight harder bosses and stuff like that. I mean, not unless there's something amazing to gain from it, but I'm still gonna fight the purple bosses, the Everdark Sovereign, however you say it. I'm gonna go fight them too. I still got those I need to fight, and I still got the remembrances to do, but I have technically beat the game. But after I do those, the replayability is not gonna be very high. We got the DLC on the way, so that'll be another reason to play it again. But after that, what are they gonna do? And time for my review. So I'm gonna start with a 10 and then I'm gonna go down. So there's only 3 things that knock the score down. So the first one is no PvP, so you a 9 out of 10. The next thing is replayability. Without PvP, I'm not really gonna play it no more after I beat all the bosses. And the last thing is that I can't create my own character my way. So 7 out of 10 is what I'm gonna give Nightreign, man. Thank y'all for watching. Catch y'all later.